coming to the structure of prokaryote. This is the structure of a typical prokaryote. Okay, so here we can see that we are telling that these prokaryotes lack nucleus, lack membrane bound cell organelles. That means it should have something to survive. So this is a typical structure of a bacterial cell. So here you will be having the cell membrane. So what are the features a prokaryotic cell is having? So prokaryotic cell, when you talk about the structure of a prokaryotic cell, the prokaryotic cell is having a cell membrane, so or plasma membrane like this. Okay, this is the whatever you are seeing in orange, this is the cell membrane or plasma membrane, and outside the plasma membrane it is having the cell wall. Okay, you know that all the living cells are bounded by the plasma membrane. Okay, and here in the prokaryotic cells also will be having a plasma membrane as a outer boundary, and outside the plasma membrane will be having the cell wall. Okay, sometimes it is also having the capsule. Okay, plasma membrane, a prokaryotic cell is bounded by a plasma membrane, which in turn covered by a cell wall, which in turn covered by this particular capsule. Okay, this is regarding the outer features. So coming to the inside of the prokaryotic cell, so we will be having the cytoplasm. So here you can see the cytoplasm. Okay, and this cytoplasm should contain what? It should contain the cell organelles in the normal cell. But in case of the prokaryotes, it lacks the cell organelle. Instead, it is having the DNA. What the nucleus is having? Nucleus is having the DNA. Nucleus is having the DNA. And in the eukaryotes, the nucleus is DNA is present as chromosomes in the nucleus. But here, there is no nucleus, no chromosome. The genetic material is present as the naked DNA. Genetic material is present as the naked DNA, which is also known as the nucleoid. Okay, the genetic material of a prokaryotic cell is known as the nucleoid DNA or naked DNA. It is also known as the incipient nucleus. Okay, incipient nucleus. Okay, so for the genetic material is present as naked DNA. What else it requires? Okay, once the genetic material is present, it need to have synthesize some its compounds, and for that it needs its own machinery. For that, how does it will do? So by photosynthesis. So there are, and it also have some other function of respiration. So here in the prokaryote will be having the mesosomes. So mesosomes are nothing but they are the invaginations of the cell membrane. See, cell membrane is here. So you can make out here. See, this is the orange boundary. This is the orange boundary, and orange boundary is the cell membrane over here, and this is self has made the inversions. So cell membrane itself will make a inversion to form the mesosome, and these mesosomes found to carry the respiratory pigments. Okay, and this particular structure is exactly similar to the outer membrane of mitochondria. You know that in the outer membrane of mitochondria, cellular respiration occurs. Here also in the mesosomes, all the enzymatic machinery needed for cellular respiration is present in the mesosome. This is the second important job. First thing is genetic material. Genetic material is present as naked DNA or nucleoid or incipient nucleus. There is no other thing attached to the DNA over here. And second important thing, cellular respiration occurs in the invaginations known as mesosomes. So invaginations known as mesosomes. Okay. And third important thing, what does it require? It requires protein synthesis. Where does the protein synthesis occurs? Both in prokaryotes and eukaryotes, protein synthesis occurs on ribosomes. But one thing it's more special about the ribosomes over here. Ribosomes are of 70S type. Whereas in eukaryote, the ribosomes are of 80S type. So here ribosomes are 70S type ribosomes are present in prokaryotes. And sometimes in prokaryotes you also found the plasmids. And sometimes it is having the pili as well as the flagella. Remember, so many prokaryote if you take, the outside of the prokaryote is covered by the plasma membrane, and within the plasma membrane, so it will invaginates to form the mesosomes, and these mesosomes known to carry the respiratory pigment, and sometimes it also carry photosynthetic pigment. That time it is known as the thylakoids. And then within the cell membrane it is having the cytoplasm, and cytoplasm carries, this is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm carry all the metabolites needed for the metabolism. Also it carries the DNA suspended nakedly, so it doesn't have any protein surrounding it or membranes surrounding it. Okay, and also the cytoplasm contain the ribosomes. The ribosomes present in the prokaryote is of 70S type, and they are responsible for protein synthesis. And outside the cell membrane will be having the cell wall. So you can see here white color thing is there. This is the cell wall, and sometimes surrounding, I am not telling always, sometimes surrounding to the cell wall you will be having a capsule. This is present in some bacteria. So capsule is also present, and sometimes you will be having the pili, hair-like structures known as the pili as well as the flagella. This is regarding the structure of a prokaryotic cell.